So I'm about to leave California. So I had this dream about this mysterious woman in a black dress again. It's like the 5th time. 5 times now. 5 times within the last fucking week. 5 times. 5 times. Trying to put it all together, see what it means. So I did a little research on dreaming. I typed in the search bar dream with woman in black dress and what it might mean. And I was told that it could mean a slew of things. Number one, it could mean that somebody's about to die. Number two, it could mean that this person was somewhere in my past and they played a significant role in my life. Another thing is that this woman doesn't even exist, and from what somebody told me, it could be Satan trying to lead me down a dark path. Another thing is that it could, there's something about this girl that has complete dominance over me. And the other thing that they said it might be was there's something that I have that this girl wants. So, the latest dream. Crazy, I don't ever fucking stand it. And I remember there was this girl from my past when I was like 10 or 11. And she used to live across the road from me. And she moved out of state. And we hung out a lot. And she had black hair. She wore glasses. I was like 10, 11 years old. And she was like a really good friend of mine. We were not boyfriend and girlfriend, but we were really, really good friends. We played on the playground together. We climbed the trees together. We rode bikes together. She was like a best friend. We were not girlfriend, boyfriend. We were just really good friends. And this girl moved out of state one day. One day she was really sad and she moved out of state. She lived across the road from me. So I don't know if she has anything to do with it. But I'm going to explain some things, what happened in this dream that might have some indicators of it might have something to do with her. Because they said, because I looked up the description of why do you have a dream of a woman in a black dress, and they said it's an indicator that it was somebody from your past. And they played a good role in your life. So anyway, I mean, this was before I moved to the trailer park and before I met my good friend of 20-something years. I lived in this house before I moved to the trailer park. I was like 10 years old. And there was this girl across the street, and we hung out all the time. And one day she was really sad, and she's like, Rob, we're moving to Indiana. Indiana! So, here's some indicators of this. So what happened in my dream was, this was last night, I was driving my black Dodge Charger. It was raining and pouring out. I get a blowout. Pull to the side of the road. I get out. I'm just getting soaked. I'm like, oh, fuck, my tire. It was the front passenger side tire. I looked up and there's a welcome to Indiana sign. Get back in my car, and here's that girl in the black dress sitting right in my passenger seat. And she looks right at me and she's like, you made it. You made it. And she had a little bit of smirk on her face. I'm like, I made it. I made what? I made it to Indiana. Right, and I looked up and there's a welcome to Indiana sign as the rain's just pouring down. So that scene cut off. So this next scene, I think it was like 2 different dreams. So this next scene, I'm standing in a church parking lot, and this guy walks up to me. He was dressed in a suit. Now, I don't know if he was a pastor or not, but I don't know who he was. He was a tall guy, looked kind of geeky looking, had glasses and curly hair. He looked sort of like Weird Al Yankovic for some reason. So he tells me to follow him. So I go to follow the guy. And he stops at the entrance of the church and he points up at the door. And I'm like, what? And he's like, she's in there. She's waiting for you. Still no name. So I look up and here comes the girl again, black dress. She comes down to me and she calls me out by name. Rob, I was waiting for you. Come on, let's go. We got to go inside. Come on. I was waiting for you. I'm like, what's in there? And she's like, just come on in. So the dream cuts off. I mean, that part cut off. Next scene. Me and my good friend of 20-something years, we're driving. Here we are again in the middle of this cornfield, 2-lane road, in my pickup truck. We're just driving on this 2-lane road, cornfields on both sides. And we're driving, and his phone rings. And the last few dreams I had, his phone kept ringing, and it was some indicator or something. It was some weird stuff about this girl. So anyway, his phone rings, he answers it, and he's like, okay, I'll let him know. And he says to me, it's for you. I'm like, what? And he's like, she's waiting for you. It's her again. She's waiting for you. That was the end of the dream. And then there was another dream with, I think, 2 different parts. So, first part, I'm sitting in this reception room, like, sort of like a reception room, or you know, those town hall rooms where you have a wedding or you have a funeral and you go to this like town hall to meet up, or a big huge building to meet up, and it's like a big huge auditorium room or something like that. It was sort of like that. It was a fancy room, like I just visited a wedding or funeral. The wedding or funeral isn't in a dream, but I'm just saying it's just like I visited one of those things. And we're in this fancy room. I'm sitting down. I'm in nice clothes, and there's lots of people around, tables, chairs, and there's a lot of people dressed up in fancy clothes, suits and ties and dresses. So I'm just sitting there. I'm sitting in like a kind of a suit, not a suit tie, but it's kind of a suit, dress pants, and I'm just sitting there at the table. And I look over, and there's the girl in the black dress again. But this time she doesn't even look at me, and she doesn't say anything. But she was off in the distance on the other side of the room, talking to some people. Didn't even acknowledge me this time. Talking to some, I think, a friend and a couple older couple or whatever. And then she got done talking to him and she walks off. That was the end of that part. The next scene, I'm walking through an airport. I don't know which airport it was. Somewhere in the winter, somewhere up in the cold state. It had to be wintertime because I was wearing a winter coat. So I was walking in the airport, and here comes the security. This fat security guard, white girl, probably in her 40s. She stops me and says, hey, come here, let's have a seat over there. And she stopped me and detained me for some reason. So we started talking. That's the end of the dream. Don't know what it means. But the last couple of dreams, she was trying to lure me into this church, and I was starting to follow. That's when the dream cuts off. And then the last one I had, she wanted nothing to do with me. So it's fucking weird. So I did some research, and they said it could mean someone's about to die in your life. Because I typed in the Google search bar, woman in black dress, and dream, what does it mean? And they said it could be an indicator that someone was about to die. It could be an indicator that this person played a significant role in your life way back when, and for some reason they're popping up for whatever reason. They could pop up in the future. Or there's another indicator that could mean a sign of distress or something. I don't know. And I did some further research, and it said this person has dominance over you, or there's something that you have that this person wants. So I don't know which it is. I don't even know if this person exists. But I remember this. Then I remember of this girl that lived across the street from me when I was 10 years old. And she had long black hair. And she ended up moving to Indiana. She lived across the street from me. And we hung out a lot. And we did a lot of things together. Rode bikes and just a lot of things that kids do. Play in a sandbox or whatever. And one day that's it. She moved away, and that was it. She moved to Indiana, and Indiana appeared twice. That Indiana sign appeared twice in my dreams. So that's telling me that, I don't know. Her name was Sarah. I'm not going to say her last name, but her name was Sarah. That's the girl's name. The one from my past, not the one. I don't know who the girl is in the dream. So I don't know if it's the same girl and she's much older. But that wouldn't make any sense, because the girl in my dream, she appeared in a couple other dreams where she appeared to be a blonde, but younger. So I'm thinking it was maybe the girl across the street from me years ago. And before I met that girl, she might have been a blonde. I don't know. So it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. So I don't know. All I can do is go to sleep tonight and dream on again, and find out. It's sort of like a soap opera now with this girl. It's sort of like I'm making a YouTube series of it now. All we can do is wait till tonight and go to sleep, and then wake up in the morning and find out the next episode of The Mysterious Girl in the Black Dress. So that's all I can think of. And if anybody that knows me in person can help me out with this, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. It's fucking weird. I can't think of anything. It probably doesn't mean shit. It's a fucking dream. It probably doesn't mean shit. But anyway, just trying to put it all together, see what it means. So, anybody have any similar dreams, or anybody got any comments about what might be happening or what it might mean? Just put it in the comment section below. I'm like dying to find out, if something's gonna happen or something, But anyway, that's it. I gotta get going.